Okay, so I'm going to start today a little bit in Mary's style, which is with a question. And the question is, what is a person like you doing in a place like this today? And we start by you, Gloria.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, what
Oh.
is a person like you doing in a place like this
Well,
tonight?
I don't see it as a surprise. It's something I've been meditating for a couple of years with Merrill's group. And the reason I came here is I needed a break from my life, my schedule, my daily schedule. I needed to make a physical change for a short period of time. So that's why I thought this would combine that and continued meditation. And I was hoping that by staying with retreat that I would get deeper and more disciplined about the practice.
Ah, good. So I think you will fulfill your purpose here. Because basically it's the main purpose of these weekend retreats. To provide with a tool that you can deal with your day and that you learn to flow in your day-to-day life, which is when existence is happening, when you are becoming conscious of yourself, when you can do something for your life or for the life of your loved ones, that it is today. But we are so used to live of a past projected into a future that we think that past projected into a future is real, while reality is the actuality of the day you have to live, and the things that you have in your imagination of that imagined past, because it's an imagined past in your mind, which is an imagined past different to the imagined past in my mind, which is an imagined past different to the imagined past of Tim's mind, and so on and so forth. So the imagined pasts that we believe that they exist as a past, well, they exist in your mind, because the rest of the minds have other pasts. Mm-hmm. And then we project them into a future that we believe that will come around somehow, and think about all the projections into the future that you may have done throughout your life and how they have never come around. So we are so used to live into that past to future projection that it's very difficult for us to put our attention in the only day you have to live, which is today. And we feel afraid of doing that, because without that past and without that future, then you ask yourself, then who am I? You know, it's like you are nothing, yeah, because you know. That past has a certain future. You know which is the certain future of that past. You know it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure? Which is it?
No.
No, yeah, I will tell you a whole. 8 foot, 7 foot by 5 foot. That's the only certain future. The rest, you know, is experience. So and these retreats are basically focused to give you the tools, to provide you with the tools so that you can take advantage of the only day you have to live, which is today. And if you learn to live a day nicely, you have just learned to live your life nicely. And it's never late. Because life, it's only what you experience every day. Because the rest is memories or projections into the future, and none of them exist. So what is a person like you doing in a place like this?
So it's for all of us. I'm doing meditation like for 2 years now, but this place, I got to this place to make my life easier. So it helps me to
Easy.
mhm.
Yeah, well, that is, in fact, you know, some organizations in the spiritual supermarket, because these days there is a spiritual supermarket. You know, everything is on sale, you know. There are many brands of meditation and of yoga and of this and of that. And some organizations probably sell the idea of becoming enlightened, or I don't know, things of that nature. Guru Raj always said, you know, he gave this example. Ramakrishna said that if I can lead one person to enlightenment, my life will have been worthwhile. And he said, I instead say, if I can put as much people in the right direction as possible, my life will have been worthwhile, because they are in the right direction, and eventually they will arrive wherever they have to arrive, if there is somewhere to arrive. That's another question. So this organization is more focused in a practical philosophy. And the only practical philosophy is, what is it that I am going to do with the day I have to live today? Because that is when you are alive. That is when you experience yourself. That is when you exist. And that is the only place you can do something for that imagined future in any case. Because the rest is projections in your mind. So it's only your day. And it's only learning to flow. Flow is a word that now is very much a fad. A fad? You say a fad? Yeah. Fashion. A fad, you know. So, flow. Guru Raj started to speak about learning to flow, you know, in 1976. Flow, which means if you are low, at an F and flow. And he used the letter F with its double sense. So, which means, you know, it's only today. So, really, if you want to study, if you want to understand how to sort out your life, instead of trying to get to some hypothetical future, try to find out how you can do the best of the only day you have to live. Because if you know how to do that, you've done it. So that's what our school teaches. Rick, what does a guy like you do in a place like this?
My parole officer sent me.
That's the right idea.
I like to come here because I've never not learned something. And it's not, you know, you can learn a negative thing and at least get to look at it and have some awareness. So there's always some, they're not all aha moments or epiphanies, but I always feel like when I leave here, that I've heard something I've never heard before, or I have something to contemplate and you know, see how it can affect me, how it can make my day better, my experience better. I'm not looking to, you know, control the future, and just like one day at a time, getting out and just be more at peace and, you know, as happy as I can be, regardless of how stressful the situations might be. So I always learn something here.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Because, you know, we have this saying, as most of you know, it is so simple to be happy, but so difficult to be simple. We are so complicated, human beings. We are so complicated. We get attached to so many opinions, you know, but in reality, living a day is so simple. And even in the most nimious act, like dressing yourself or washing your teeth or cooking the food, you know, if you just let yourself go, you know, life just flows, and in a certain way you lose the sensation of being the doer, and things are just happening.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong, so.
I'm not one for memories too much because I think you have to be really old to start with memories. I'm not that old yet. And every time I use projection, I was usually wrong. So I'm really enjoying living day to day. Every time I wake up, it's a new day, it's a new start. And ever since I started this journey into meditation years ago, it's kind of changed my life, changed my perspective. And this is the way I want to go. So my mind is always open to absorb everything I could to continue my journey and to make it better. That's why I'm doing it.
Harry.
I wrote it on the flow. Like I always do. And I really miss you guys, man. It's been a couple of weeks. But yeah, that's it. I just come in on the flow. And come and I go.
Well, I feel like this is my second home after spending the summer here getting it ready. I kind of need to be here often and be closer to the Guru, be closer to his teachings, learn more. I want to learn more. Not just by myself listening to tapes. I want to get deeper because I know he offered a lot more than what we have so far.
Good. So, you know, that's what we are trying to do here. And, you know, little by little, step by step, lead me kindly light, one step after another is enough for me, which is him. So that's what we will do. And now, lastly, but not leastly, Tim.
Well, I have to say, just based on whatever one has said and what you have said, it's already something that I know I will come back to. I'm here to get rid of. I was always, a few years ago, I got divorced in 2012, and I decided to love myself, and I had a lot of positive thoughts, and I started my own business, and I lived for me. I didn't listen to what others said, and when I did that, I started to love myself, and I had a business, and I felt like I was on top of the world. You know, I was happy. I was rich as a person, not financially, but I loved what I did. And after that, the landlord had me move out. It seemed like somehow I let those negative thoughts come back into my life. Whereas instead of, you know, being positive and saying this is what's going to happen and manifesting the good things that I wanted to happen in life, I let others influence my decisions, and it seems like there's been a black cloud over me since, and every day I feel stuck. I feel I'm financially struggling. I think there's things that I need to put in order in my life, and there's so much stress that I shut down. and I don't do anything. And it's, I need some
Right,
positivity.
okay,
in that.
so we are going to sort you out.
You know what?
Sort you out.
Sort you
Good,
out.
good, sort me out, okay. Good, that's what I need.
Okay, you need a little bit, yeah, you, team contacted for a healing, so we are, in fact, who else wanted a healing? You wanted a healing. So, Monica will be doing the healing to Tim, for example, and I do the healing to Galina. Sounds good to you?
Yes, yes, yes.
So Monica will be doing you the healing,
Okay.
and I will be doing the healing to Galina while we meditate.
Okay.
But healing, you know, there is also a healing which is the healing that comes out of words. It's not to, how do you say to, when you say, oh, how do you, to presume?
Con-
How do you
presumptive,
say? Presumptuous, yeah. Not
presumptuous.
to be presumptuous, but you know, in the town where the ashram is in Spain, which is, you know, a town, imagine a very rural area of Spain, in the mountains, in a place where there are only cows and valleys and mountains and forests. So a little bit like this, but imagine without roads and without people and so many buildings, only scattered places around, no? And although these places are very scattered and only a few thousand people live, you know, everybody is aware of everybody. I suppose the same thing happens here, you know, but you know, they know what's going on in the valley. Everybody knows what's going on in the valley. And I am called the kind, I don't know if it is the witch doctor or what,
That's
the
okay.
witch doctor that cures with words. Because many people come, you know, to see me, to tell me their problems, and I just speak with them, you know, and they come happily after that. So when, you know, I am known, and when someone has a problem, they say, oh, go to this witch doctor that cures you with words. Speaks to you and reads you. And it's not that I announce myself like that, you know, it's like a thing, a motto that they put me there in.
Well, you gotta take the bone out of it.
Anyhow,
See you in Santa Claus.
anyhow, what we are going to do now is I'm going to make a very, very small introduction of what you are learning during this weekend. We will go on until 9, so we will continue until 9. I'm going to make a small introduction of what we are doing this weekend, and my advice is that you can stay if you want. It will be good for you. If you want to really recover, it will be good for you. And then we are going to make a meditation using a pranayama mantra that all of you know except for Tim, so I will explain him. And during the meditation I will make you a healing, and Monica will make you a healing. A healing is a technique that balances out your subtle body, let's say. She will be touching certain points of your, mainly your head. Probably you will have to take your husband. And you just let yourself go during that healing, you know, so the sensations you perceive or the thoughts you have, you just let everything go. Just, you know, like if you were watching a fireplace and you are feeling all those sensations as part of the fireplace, just letting it go. Nothing is important, you're not expecting anything, Just let everything go, right? Now I will make a small introduction of what we are going to learn during this weekend, which is to deal with one day, really, which is what every spiritual tradition have taught, including ours, which is the Christian. You know, probably all of ours grew in a Christian culture, right? Tim, you grew Christian? You grew Christian or Jewish? Or you Jewish? Well, Semitic, let's put it that way. Semitic culture. In every spiritual tradition, there is an emphasis on living the here-ness and now-ness of life. The day you have to live, to take care of the things you have to take care in the day you have to live. In the case of Buddhism, there is, you know, all the mindfulness of your actions, of this or that or the other thing. In the case of Christians, you have in Matthew chapter 6, verses 23 to 32, you know, so don't worry about what you are going to dress or what you are going to eat, because even Solomon doesn't dress as well as the lilies in the field. So dedicate today to what the day of today brings you, that tomorrow it will bring its own, I'm paraphrasing, you know. But in every tradition there is this kind of, look, life where you are experiencing yourself, where everything is happening, the only place you can do something for yourself, for your loved ones, for the idea you have for your future, for whatever it is today. Because yesterday, it's only memories in your mind, and memories in your mind are different to memories in my mind, and so on and so forth. And tomorrow is a tomorrow that you know by experience never arrives. Does everybody agree about this tomorrow that never arrives? Right, okay. Even, you know, the people that you think, because in America is this story about the success, no? Even the people that you think that they have arrived, I don't know, name one in your mind, Trump. They all fall. They all fall. Margaret Thatcher ended up not even reminding that she was Margaret Thatcher or a prime minister, and ends on a little hole like everybody. Everybody falls. So it's just a matter of time. So everybody that wants to reach to somewhere, they think that this somewhere is a place that they are gonna stay, but that's not the case. They reach nowhere because there's nowhere to go. You get this? You understand this concept? Gloria?
I think so.
You think so? You understand it? Right, which is that we are trying to get somewhere, but what is that somewhere that we are trying to get? You know, it's only experience. And experience, where is experience happening? Experience is happening today. So, what you have to look at and what you have to understand is what is the phenomena that happens to you today. There is something in you which is consciousness, which is able to look at you and be aware of what's going on, because consciousness is not your body. Consciousness is aware of your body. Consciousness is not your emotions. Consciousness is aware of your emotions. And the same for thoughts, and the same for the rest of the things. So, disidentify for you for a few seconds of everything you think you are, and look at the phenomena of what happens to you every day. And what happens to you every day is that you wake up, you come from the night, and you go back to the night, or to sleep, which is the same thing. So, you wake up in the morning, and the first thing that you become aware of, what is it? What is the first things that appear in the screen of your mind when you wake up?
All the stresses in my life.
All the fucking problems that you might have. That is exactly what you become aware of every morning as you wake up. Is everything you are in disagreement with, or that you complain about, or that you name it. It could be your health, could be this, could be that. So, in other words, you wake up in the morning, you wake up to your memories, and you project these memories in the screen of your mind. And without saying it, what you are doing is you are recovering from your memories the idea you have of you, the things you tell yourself about yourself, the things you tell yourself about life. You recover those memories. You interpret what your circumstances are, and you create a picture of how you see that your circumstances are. And your circumstances have people, so you have people in the screen of your mind, your parents, your colleagues at work, your friends, you name it, appear in the screen of your mind. You consider that something is wrong, and you project this past into an hypothetical future where this will be sorted out. And you do that every morning when you wake up. Now, first thing you have to realize is this. When you wake up, you regard this to be your reality. You consider that to be real. That is not real at all. That is real for you. I have no fucking idea about that reality. Sorry for the word. The same, my reality that I think is real, you don't see that of me. You see a completely different thing. So this that you wake up to and you consider it to be real, to begin with, it's only real for you. And second, it's not even that it is the same you. Think about how you woke up, I don't know, to put you a date that you might remember in 9/11. Go back in your memories to 9/11, when the Twin Towers, right? Imagine, go back in your memories to the Twin Towers event. Now think about, where did you live? How was your room then? And when you woke up those days, try to recover it from your memory, don't elaborate. When you woke up those days, what is it that was projected in the screen of your mind? What did you think it was wrong? What were the people that were part of that projection? What were the projections to the future you were doing in all those inner conversations that you might have in your mind then. Are you doing that? Gloria, are you doing it? Morales, Tim, are you doing it? Right, and now tell me, what is the future has to do with what you were doing then? What is what wakes up to do have to do what wake up then? Is it different or is it the same? Or is it completely different?
Completely different.
Completely different. You agree, Tim? Completely different, exactly. So you think you are this, and you think that that is kind of permanent, but it is not permanent, it's permanent just for today. Because tonight you will go to sleep, which means that this I that you are identifying with stops being in charge. Because the I that you identify with is in charge during this time. Here, it's not in charge. You go to bed and you somehow disappear. In fact, if you don't disappear completely, you don't sleep well. When you keep reappearing during the night, you have a bad night's sleep. The best thing that can happen to you is that you disappear completely. But either you disappear completely or not, during the night, while you are not in charge, your mechanisms in the brain are being restructured, and what is going to wake up tomorrow is going to be another I. And the I that woke up today will never woke up again, in the same way that you will never wake up again with the I that woke up when you were 16. You know, it was another story. So, this is the phenomena that happens every day. This thing wakes up, and you call it my reality. And then you have a day to live. And a day to live with respect of the I that we are all worried about. It has to do with what the I gets involved with. And the I gets involved with three things, basically. Actions. So, from the moment you wake up, you have the experience that I am doing things. I am getting out of the bed. I am brushing my teeth. I am dressing myself. The I that you are identified with is doing things, actions. The I is thinking things. So from the moment you are awake, because when you are dreaming, it's only dreams. It's not the I that you are identified that is dreaming. It is, dreams that you become aware of. But once you are awake, if you are thinking my boss is an asshole, it is I that I am thinking that. So you relate your I with your thought processes. So I think. And then I feels. You can feel happy, frustrated, whatever. But from the moment you wake up, the I is feeling things. So these are the three things that happen during a day that have to do with your I. And those are the three yogas. Those are the three areas that one has to work to become in union to your real self. Your actions, which is karma yoga. Karma means action. Your thoughts, jnana yoga. Jnana means discrimination, because thoughts, we use thoughts so badly. During this weekend course, we will learn how to deal with thoughts also. Because we use thoughts not to think about wise things, we use thoughts to judge, to complain, to this, to entertain, in invented conversations in our mind, to project ourselves as what we are not, you name it. You waste our time. And Jnana Yoga means discrimination, ultimately between what is real and what is unreal. So thinking is the most arid of the yogas, is the part that gives more problems. And so during this weekend we will dedicate quite a bit of time to deal with thoughts, because thoughts is what makes you suffer mainly, you know. And then feelings, well, feelings, in reality there is only one feeling, which is love. Like there is only one light, which is white. But then if the white light goes through a prism, you have the, how do you call the
Spectrum.
the spectrum of all the colors, you know. The prism of the mind is the emotions, all the different feelings or emotions are just that love, that is the energy of life. Feeling is an energy that through the mind becomes an emotion. You know, you love life, the mind tells you yes, but you're going to die and you're going to be miserable, and then that love for life becomes fear to death. But the original energy, before it came through the mind, was love to life, and then it becomes fear to death. So these are the three yogas. This is Bhakti Yoga, and we are going to learn practical things to apply in your life, to your actions, to your thoughts, and to your feelings, so that you little by little become the master of the day you have to live. Because it is not a matter of becoming the master of the idea you have of what your life is. It is a matter of becoming the master of the day you have to live, keeping a direction. It's like sailing a boat. When you go north-northwest, you know it's just a matter to learn how to use the sails to keep your north-northwest direction, and then day by day eventually you will arrive to where you are heading. But the technique is based on sailing, and sailing you do it in the moment, with the wind, with the sails you have, and according to the situation. How to deal with that is what we are going to learn. Apart of these three yogas, there is what it is the Raja Yoga, which means the meditation techniques. Now, during this weekend, you are going to learn the basic meditation techniques that any person needs, and that practice will provide you with the energy, the one-pointedness of the mind, and the ability to deal with your day. You know, it's like having the engine of your car tuned. So the meditation techniques tune the mind to deal with your day, and they are very effective, and they work if you practice them daily. So we are going to learn meditation techniques. Now we are going to do a meditation technique that is simple. What is the time? Yeah, okay. As only team does not know it, I will explain it quickly. But if you have any doubt, team, just tell me, interrupt me. Now this is a technique that is based. The first part of the technique is a breathing technique. It's called a pranayama mantra. So the kind of breathing we are going to do is like taking your breath very quickly in. Do it now. Take your breath very quickly in and just let it go. Until the breathing nearly stops, and then once your lungs want to breathe in again, you take the breathe in again. And just let go. You see what kind of breathing it is? Okay. Now, this is a pranayama mantra, so we are using this breathing blended with a pranayama, with a mantra. Now, the mantra is this one. Aim, Hrim, Krim, Chamundaye, Viche, I will put here short. So in other words, what we are going to do is we are going to breathe in, and while we breathe out, we say Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaye Viche Che. In the last Che you have breathed out completely. Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaye Viche Che. Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaye Viche Che. Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaye Viche Che. Now we are combining that type of breath with repeating a mantra that doesn't mean anything. So this will create a little kind of space between your thoughts that will be verbal and the movement of these muscles. When you think verbally, the part of the brain that thinks verbally is connected to these muscles. That's why many people, while thinking, speak. You know, you are thinking something and, you know, naturally, if you are alone particularly, you will speak it. Because the verbal thought is connected to the verbal muscles, the muscles with which you verbalize. But now you are going to have the muscles with which you verbalize busy saying nothing, but your mind is still going to have verbal thoughts. A typical verbal thought that one has while doing this exercise, particularly the first time that it is done, is I'm fed up of repeating this. What a stupidity to repeat this. So, when that thought arises in your mind, the attitude, like if it was someone else thinking it, it's not you, you are really not fed up, you are really observing yourself repeating this. So you keep yourself observing yourself, how your mouth moves, how these muscles move, how the breathing moves, sensations in the body. You just keep observing yourself and you just let thoughts go, right? We will repeat this a lot of times. Tengo aquí mi magazine.
Sí.
We are going to repeat this 3 rounds of this mala, and each time, each mala is 108 repetitions. So this is going to, it is going to make you tired. You know, it's like, have you ever done running, for example? Good. So you know when you are running, it comes a point that you are starting to get tired, but if you keep going, it becomes automatic, right? And you have to keep going then. With this, it will happen to you the same. So take it with a sportive, take it with a sportive attitude. You know, imagine you were running, you are breathing and moving these muscles. Instead of moving these muscles, you are breathing and moving these muscles. And in the same way that while you are running, you are kind of observing yourself running and you're breathing, while you are doing this, like in a sportive activity, you observe yourself moving these muscles and letting thoughts go, and just when you get tired, when the mind gets tired of saying it, you just keep going, because it will become automatic eventually. And when it becomes automatic, you just let go. Now, I do it. I start a little bit more slowly, so the rhythm would be something like Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche, Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche, Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche. Then I go more quickly, like Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche, Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche, Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche. And then the last quarter I do it again slowly. Aim Hrim Krim, like at the beginning. Chamandaya Bicheche, Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche. The last one is very slow, which means you have to get a big breath. Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche, and you push your abdomen down to expel all the air. In general, as a general rule, every time that you are saying this, if you need more air, you just push your abdomen. Because one of the things this technique does is clean the part of the lungs that, you know, they have this dead air, they call, that is never exchanged, because we breathe very much with the top. So it obliges you to push all that air out. That's why maybe you might feel some, how do you say it?
Itching?
Itching.
Yeah, itching throat. Yeah.
Itching in the throat. You could feel some itching in the throat is normal. And it's due because that air, which is kind of polluted air, goes out, and you know, kind of, you know, the polluted air, it makes your throat itch. Between round and round, I stop like a minute and a half in silence. When I do the last one, as you have given a long breath, and you have done Aim Hrim Krim Chamandaya Bicheche, what naturally comes out is you take a long breath. Once you have the air in, you just leave breath alone. If you leave breath alone, you will breathe out slowly, and breathing will practically stop before you fill your lungs again. And you just let it be there, because you will feel a quietude. Don't try even to feel the quietude. Just let yourself go in that quietude, because by the time you are letting go, I will start with the next round. So, you know, and we'll start all over again. We will do 3 rounds like that. Now, the important thing of this is, you know, try to keep the pronunciation. So it ends with an M. Aim, it's like a drumming. Aim, Hrim, Krim. It's a vibrant M. Aim, Hrim, Krim, Chamandaya Bicheche. So it's like pum, 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 pum. So it has a rhythm. Aim, rim, krim, cham, daye, bicheche, and you use like your lips to create the tabla of the chant. So that's important. And yeah, when we finish, we will stay in silence for about 20 minutes. Does anybody wants to play the gong, or we do it in silence? Because I'm going to do a healing to Galina, and Monica is going to do a healing to Tim. So in silence, you're okay with silence? Okay. So once we finish, we will be 20 minutes in silence. Monica will be doing you a healing. What you do while she's doing you the healing, she will go in your back. I will go the same. And she will touch certain points basically of your head and this part of the body. You just, the sensations you may perceive, you just, perceive them but let them go. You do the same with the thoughts. You just put your attention in your breathing and keep very lightly your attention in your breathing, in a consciousness that you are here, now, and just let go. Just let go. Right? Okay, so we start. So now we have a nice supper for all of you with red wine, so kitchen time.
I can feel myself shaking. Yeah, it's crazy. It was a good feeling. It wasn't bad. It was just like, oh my cows, that happened. It's like,
Good.
every time I ever breathe, it's like, feel it. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad.
That's a nice thing.
Like a pin.
I was trying to keep up with the breathing when there was chanting. I just wanted to keep up with the breathing. I couldn't really chant, but
That's
I'll
fine.
get it next
It's really
time.
all about the breathing.
Yeah, it was
I
like
like
trying
it.
to
Change
keep up.
we have different narrow.
At the end, I was getting better, so I hummed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.